Good evening. My name is Scott Dirks, and I'm the municipal judge for the city of Stoughton and the towns of Dunkirk, Pleasant Springs, and Rutland. The city of Stoughton will appear in all matters this evening by Attorney Isaac Brodke. Before we begin calling cases, I want to go over some of the procedures we'll follow tonight and some of your rights as defendants. These procedures are also set forth on the form that was made available to you as you entered the courtroom. First, this hearing is for initial appearances on the citations you received. This is not the time for a trial or telling me your version of what happened. When your case is called, please come up to the podium. Excuse me, and remember to speak clearly. These proceedings are being recorded, so you need to answer questions verbally and not by nodding or shaking your head. Tonight, I will ask you to enter a plea to the citation you were issued. Your plea options are not guilty, no contest, or guilty. A plea of guilty means that you admit you did whatever it is you are charged with. A plea of no contest means that while you do not admit doing anything, you do not wish to contest the matter. In either case, guilty or no contest, I will find you guilty. I will then review the facts of your case and impose a forfeiture. A forfeiture is a money penalty and can be anywhere from $20,000 to $10,000, though the vast majority will be in the range of $50 to $200. I'm also required to impose court costs, which will increase the total amount you must pay. I will automatically give you 30 days to pay your forfeiture. If you think you will need more time than that, please let me know right away, and we will set up a payment plan. Failure to timely pay your forfeiture can result in suspension of your driver's license or referring the matter for debt collection, and you don't want that to happen. If you plead not guilty, I will schedule your case for a pretrial conference with the city attorney. That will be sometime on June 5, 2024. At that time, you can discuss your case with him and see if your case can be resolved without a trial. If it cannot be resolved, I will schedule the matter for trial. If you do have the right to have an attorney represent you in your case, but you must retain that attorney on your own. The state public defender will not represent you. You also have the right to ask me for a continuance of your case if you need to consult with an attorney or for some other reason. Those of you who are charged with operating while intoxicated or a similar offense have the right to a jury trial in circuit court in Madison. However, you must post jury fees within 10 days of the date of your plea in order to have a jury trial. Trials on all other offenses will be heard by me. You will have the right to appeal any decision I make in your case. Those of you who are charged with a traffic offense, and that's the vast majority of you, should bear in mind that in addition to having to pay a forfeiture if found guilty, the Division of Motor Vehicles may impose demerit points against your license. If 12 or more points are assessed against your license in any 12-month period, your driving privileges will be suspended for a period of time. And if you hold a probationary license, those points may be doubled. Finally, if your address changes at any time while your case is pending, you must notify the court in writing within 5 days of such a change. Please call the first case.
Logan Moshel.
Logan Moshel. Mr. Moshel, just want to make sure we've got your correct address. Are you still living at 1809 North Page Street?
Yes, sir.
And your last name is spelled M-O-S-C-H-E-L?
That's correct.
You're charged with operating without a valid driver's license. That means that your Wisconsin driving privileges either were never issued or they are under revocation or suspension. Do you understand the nature of the charge?
Yes.
How do you want to plead?
No contest.
You understand if you plead no contest, I will find you guilty.
Yes.
I'm just going to review the facts of the case. My understanding is that your driver's license was suspended back on September 1st for speeding. And it looks like you have some other reasons for suspension. Do you know what you need to do to get your driver's license reinstated?
I've actually never had a driver's license.
You never had one issued?
No.
Okay. Well, at this time, I will impose a forfeiture and costs totaling $124, and I'll give you 30 days to pay that. Is that enough time?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Oh, okay. We'll get you a copy of the judgment. Sorry about that. Quinn Nugent. Did I say your name correctly, ma'am?
Yes, you did.
Thank you. And do you still live on Preservation Place in Sun Prairie?
Correct.
And your last name is spelled Neugent?
Yes.
You understand that you're charged with riding in a vehicle without wearing a seatbelt?
Correct.
Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
And how do you wish to plead?
No contest.
All right. I do find a factual basis for your plea. I will find you guilty and impose a forfeiture and costs totaling $10. Is 30 days enough time to pay that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Just hang on. We'll get you a copy of the judgment.
Okay.
Maxon Day.
Thank you.
Ms. Day, do you still live on Davison in Sun Prairie?
Yes.
And is your first name spelled Maeson?
Yes.
Last name Day?
Yep.
Thank you. You're charged with riding in a motor vehicle without a seatbelt on. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
How do you wish to plead?
No contest.
All right. I do find a factual basis for your plea. I will find you guilty and impose a forfeiture and costs totaling $10. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that?
No.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll get you a copy of the judgment, and then you can go. All right. Sarah Gile. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
It's Guile.
Guile, thank you.
You're welcome.
And do you still live on Main Street in Deerfield?
Yes.
And your last name is spelled Gile?
Yes.
Ms. Giles, your child, you are charged with theft of movable property of a value of less than $500. That is, that you took the movable property of another without that person's permission. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
And how do you wish to plead?
No contest.
I'll just review the reports to see if there's a factual basis.
There's a request for restitution
Oh.
on that. So
I don't know, sometimes. the
Do we
judge
have that somewhere?
Well, the judge, it's listed on the citation towards the bottom, if you go back to that first page.
Okay.
But sometimes the judge will have a hearing, requiring the victim to,
Right.
supply documentation of the value. Right there at the bottom.
I see.
Okay.
Excuse me. Ms. Giles, the victim in this matter has requested restitution in the amount of $335.
Okay.
Is that an amount that you wish to contest?
Yes.
That's a yes?
Yes.
All right. Then I will impose judgment, and I will order a forfeiture and cost totaling $187, but I will set the matter over for a restitution hearing.
I'll send a notice to both parties.
Okay.
I don't have a date yet.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
So we'll mail you notice of that restitution hearing. If you don't show up for that restitution hearing, in all likelihood, I would impose the $335, and you'll have to pay that in addition to the forfeiture.
Okay.
So if you wish to contest the amount that's being requested, you do have to show up. We'll send you notice in the mail, so watch out for that.
Okay.
And we'll send notice to the victim as well. Mr. Brodkey, anything further from the city?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Can you repeat the plea? I didn't catch that. Her plea.
You pled no contest, correct?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, okay. I thought I heard you, but I wanted to be sure. Okay, we'll give you a copy of the judgment, and then you can go, and then we'll send you notice of the restitution hearing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Tabitha Frank. Ms. Frank, are you still living at 201 South Academy in Stoughton?
Yep, apartment 1.
I'm sorry?
Apartment 1.
Right, apartment 1.
Mm-hmm.
And your last name is spelled F-R-A-N-K?
Yes,
Tabitha, T-A-B-I-T-H-A?
yes,
All right. You are charged with being a parent or guardian who is liable for the habitual truancy of a minor. Do you understand what that means?
yes,
It means that you're responsible for making sure that child gets to school as they're required to, and you haven't done that. That's the charge.
yes.
And how do you wish to plead?
Not guilty?
Thank you. I'll schedule the matter for a final pretrial conference, and you can talk to the city attorney about your case. And that'll be on June 5 at 4:20 p.m. That'll be a telephone conference.
Okay,
So we'll give you the information you need to do that, so you can talk to Mr. Brodkey about the case. If you get it resolved, that's fine. If not, then we'll come back here and I'll set a date for a trial.
okay,
Okay?
okay.
Joanne Gauthier, Gauthier. Could you help me with your name, please, ma'am?
Gauthier.
Gauthier?
Yeah.
Thank you. Ms. Gauthier, you are charged with inattentive driving. That means that while you were operating a motor vehicle on a public highway in the state of Wisconsin, you operated in a manner that was inattentive. Do you understand that?
Yes,
And do you still live on Davis Hills Drive in Verona?
correct.
How do you wish to plead?
No contest.
I'm just reviewing the police reports, so please bear with me. Mr. Brodkey, the forfeiture amount listed on the citation, the bond deposit, is $111.40. It appears that there may have been an injury of some sort in this case. Are you seeing that?
Your Honor, I don't have access to the initial appearance documents.
Ms. Gauthier, what can you tell us about that?
About,
Did you get hurt?
no.
Do you know if the other driver was hurt?
I know in the moment, yes, I don't know anything after that.
Okay. I do not see any request for restitution. So I will assume that to the extent there was an injury, that it was a minor one. So, Mr. Brodkey, what's the city's position with respect to disposition?
Well, Your Honor, I heard Ms. Gauthier say that she was pleading no contest. In this circumstance, I do not object to the court entering that or considering that as guilty.
Right. What's the city's position with respect to the forfeiture and costs of $111.40?
Your Honor, $111.40 sounds fine to me. I don't see a reason to certainly increase that or decrease that based off of the facts that are known to me right now.
Okay. And for what it's worth, I don't see any previous traffic violations. So I will impose $111.40. You'll have 30 days to pay that. Will you need more than 30 days?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Then we'll give you a copy of the judgment and you can go.
This is the 8 is
Yeah.
That's the one that was not on the docket.
Oh.
Because the PD changed it.
What's
So
the name?
Giese, Giese.
Okay.
Is number 8, Caleb. I wrote it in there. It's confusing.
Oh, I see. Okay. Caleb Giese. Mr. Giese, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Mr. Giese, you're charged with operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a valid driver's license now?
No.
Do you have a copy of the citation?
I was able to get it and put it in your file. It should be there. You might have to refresh.
Oh.
Maybe.
Where's that? Oh, there he is. Got it, okay. You were apparently a last-minute add-on, sorry about that. Do you still live on Park Street in Oregon?
No.
What's your new address?
491 Ithaca Court.
I'm sorry, could you say that again slowly and clearly, please?
491 Ithaca Court.
You get that?
Ithaca
Ithaca
Court.
Court?
I-T-H-A-C-A.
Yeah.
What town?
And that's in Oregon?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
He was was found guilty by default on May 1st.
Oh.
But we can notify the DOT
Sure.
if that changes, so.
Apparently, there was a mix-up with your court dates, and the matter was called on May 1st, and because you didn't appear, and that wasn't your fault, you were found guilty by default. I can change that if you want to do something other than pleading guilty. So what's your plea?
Guilty.
Okay. Then I will confirm the previous finding of guilt. I'll find a factual basis for that plea. And I will order you to pay a forfeiture and costs totaling $124. Are you going to need more than 30 days to pay that?
No.
Okay. Then I will order that, and we'll give you a copy of the judgment, and as soon as you have that, you can go. Bryce Segerson? Mr. Segerson, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, great. And your last name is spelled Segerson?
Yeah.
And do you still live on Geeler Drive in Stoughton?
Yeah, I do.
All right, you're charged with speeding by 14 miles per hour over the posted limit. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
How do you wish to plead?
No contest.
Okay, you understand that you are on a probationary license,
Yeah, I do.
okay? And that means that instead of this being a 4-point offense, it'll be an 8-point offense.
I thought the 4 points was included with the.
I'm sorry?
I thought the 4 points was included with it. Like it was only supposed to be 2 points, but then you upped it to 4.
Well, the reason that it's more than that is because you have a conviction from March of this year for speeding by 10 miles per hour over the posted limit, which is a 3-point offense. When you have a probationary license, the first violation is the regular point total.
Yeah.
Anything after that is doubled.
All right. Yeah, I understand that. I just thought the 4 points was with it, but that's all right if it's 8.
For somebody who doesn't have a probationary license, who has a regular license, that would
all
be
right.
the case. But
Yeah,
for
I
you,
understand though.
it'll be 8, which means you'll have 11 points against your license. You get any more tickets and your license is suspended. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do find a factual basis for your plea. Does the city have any position?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll find you guilty. I'll impose a forfeiture and costs totaling $98.80. You'd better be very careful driving, sir.
All right. My speedometer's off. That's why.
Well,
But-
that's also a violation. Operating with a
I'm just
defective,
kidding.
operating with a defective speedometer is a 2-point offense. So I would suggest you get your speedometer straightened out, get your wheel size to jibe with your
Yeah.
speedometer, because anything at all, and you're going to lose your license. It'll get suspended for a period of time. You'll then have to pay a reinstatement fee once that's over with, once the suspension's over with, and your insurance is going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
Are you paying for your own auto insurance right now?
Yeah, I am.
You are. Well, I would imagine your insurance carrier is going to be sending you a much larger bill next time.
Yeah. Yeah, they already have been.
Yeah, well, it's going to get worse, trust me.
All right.
Okay. I don't normally lecture people about traffic offenses, but, you know, you're only, what, 17? Not even 17 years old. You're 16, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty young to be driving around with 11 points against your license. You might even just consider walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Could I get an extension on that payment?
Sure. How much time do you need? It's $98.80.
Can I do 60 days from today? Because it's originally 30, right?
That's what I normally do.
All right. Is there any way I can do 60?
We don't need a payment plan for that, right?
No.
No.
Okay, I'll give you 60 days.
Okay.
But be sure you pay that, because if you
I
don't,
will.
your license gets suspended.
All right. I'll make sure.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Hold on a second.
Yep.
We have a different, with the new due date.
William Schultz. Mr. Schultz, are you still living on State Road 106 in Fort?
Yes,
And your last name is spelled Schultz?
yes,
All right, you're charged with operating a motor vehicle without proper registration. It looks like the tags on the vehicle were expired. Have you taken care of that problem now?
yes.
Can you show Mr. Broadkey proof that you have
Yeah, I
proper?
just got to turn on my phone and then, yeah, I can show the receipt.
Yep.
The receipt will match that day. Of course, now it won't.
Yeah,
it
no, I know, I
turns
hear you.
on. So, this, I said screenshot the receipt.
sure.
And of course, oh, yes.
Yeah.
I did for the
Yeah.
date.
Yep,
And
yep.
then you'll see that this date matches
Yep.
this citation. The dates that
There you go. I see it. See,
Yeah,
you did,
yeah.
you did it in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
There you go. Your Honor, I represent that the defendant did show me that he has since complied and actually did it within about 30 minutes of the citation being issued.
All right. Does the city have a motion for me?
Yeah, Your Honor, based off of what's been presented to me, the city moves to dismiss the citation.
It's dismissed. Thanks for taking care of that.
Yep, thank you.
You want a copy of the judgment, though, just in case.
All right.
All right, thank you. Jeetan Ashiku. I'm sure that I didn't pronounce that correctly. Can you give me a hand, please?
My name is Yatona Shiku.
Yeton.
Yeah.
And Mr. Ashiku, do you understand everything that's going on here in court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the reason I ask is because I did detect that perhaps English is not your first language.
Yes, Your Honor, but
Need a
I don't need a translator.
Okay, great, that's fine. I need to make sure, that's all. And your last name is spelled Schiku,
Yes, Your Honor.
first name Jeton,
Yes.
and you live on Virginia Drive in Clinton?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You are charged with passing in a no passing zone. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how do you wish to plead?
I plead no contest.
All right. I do find a factual basis for your plea. I also observe that you have no violations against your driver's license right now. The bond deposit amount, Mr. Brodke, is $136.60. What's the city's position with respect to disposition?
Your Honor, 136.60 does seem high. I think that the city would be comfortable with 124 for reducing the forfeiture.
That's fine. I'll order $124 then. Sir, will you need more than 30 days to pay that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Then that's what I'll order. Get a copy of the judgment, and then you can go.
Thank you.
Thank you. James Schrader.
Mr. Schrader paid his citation.
Oh, he did?
He did, he is here.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Schrader, am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you still living on Gulfview Road in Madison?
Yes, sir.
And you're charged with failure to yield right of way from a stop sign. Do you understand that?
I do.
You understand what that means?
I do.
And my understanding is that you've already paid the citation.
I did today.
Okay. One thing I think you should be aware of is that for this offense, the Division of Motor Vehicles will send you notice upon conviction, will send you notice requiring that you go to a traffic safety school. You'll have to complete that within 6 months of receiving that notice. Otherwise, your license could be suspended for up to 5 years. Knowing all of that, do you still wish to enter a plea of guilty
No,
or no contest?
I plan to plead no contest.
Okay. Given what I just told you, do you still want to plead no contest?
Does that still would require traffic school?
Yes. For this offense, yes.
I still plead no contest.
All right, that's fine. I will find a factual basis for your plea. I will find you guilty, and I will impose a forfeiture and cost totaling $98.80. Will you need more than 30 days to pay that?
No, sir.
Or you did pay it already?
I
That's
did pay
right.
it.
Okay, we'll give you a copy of the judgment, and then you can leave.
Some information on the class.
Oh, yeah. Can you give him that? Thank you. And my bailiff is giving you a copy of the information you'll need to comply with that traffic safety school requirement. Make sure you do that, because otherwise, like I said, they'll suspend your driver's license.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Luke Dennis. Mr. Dennis, do you still live on Rockport Road in Janesville?
Yes, sir.
And is your last name spelled D-E-N-N-I-S?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, sir. I don't know if this is like the place to do it, but I have my motorcycle license now.
Why don't you show that to Mr. Broadkey?
Is that what you're saying for
Yeah.
not having a motorcycle license?
I got it a week after. I was practicing.
I hear you.
Mr. Broadkey, for what it's worth, I'm looking at his traffic record. I'm assuming you don't have that with you.
I do not have that in front of me, Your Honor.
There's a violation from 21 for license not on person, from 22 for a faulty muffler, also from 22 failure to provide proof of insurance, and another violation from 22 for improper plates. Those were all out of Rock County.
Your Honor, if I may, as a point of clarification, is his citation that he's issued, is that with respect to a motorcycle or not having any driver's license?
Well, the citation says operating without a valid license.
for a motorcycle.
Maybe
Oh, I'm
that.
sorry. For operating a motorcycle without a motorcycle license. Okay.
And if I may, do you drive a car or do you just drive the motorcycle?
I drive both.
Okay, and do you have a driver's license for the car?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
can I see that as well?
Yeah. This isn't just a motorcycle license. It's got
But you got the motorcycle endorsement now, is that
yeah,
correct?
yeah. I got the full. I have like the same license adults do. I don't like no permit or anything.
And you're 18?
No, I turned 18 like less than a month.
Okay. Are you in school now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not working full-time or anything?
No.
Okay.
What's the city's position?
Your Honor, in this circumstance, I think that having a pre-trial conference might be in everybody's interest. So I guess that would be the position
Okay,
that we'd like to have.
that's fine. Mr. Dennis, what the city is proposing is that I enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf so that you've got time to talk with the city attorney and figure out if you can get the case resolved.
Okay.
Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah. Do I have to come here for like a meeting?
No, it'll be over the phone.
Okay. Okay.
And we'll give you information on that in just a second here. Any questions?
So like we would discuss like points and all that.
Right. You'll give him a phone call. Now, it's important that you make that phone call at the time that's scheduled, because if you don't, then we will assume that you intend for the matter to be resolved with judgment by default, and I'll impose a forfeiture, and you'll get 3 points assessed against your license. So make sure you make that call.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
We all set, Mr.
Yeah.
Pratt? Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep. Anna Zakowitz. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did good, Your Honor.
Thank you. I grew up in Milwaukee, so the Polish names typically don't throw me.
Okay.
You live on Coyote Lake Circle in Lake in the Hills, Illinois?
Coyote.
Coyote? Okay.
Yes.
And your last name is spelled Zachowicz?
Yes.
Okay. You're charged with speeding by 20 miles per hour over the posted limits. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
And how do you wish to plead?
No contest.
I'm reviewing the police reports right now. Mr. Brodkey, as nearly as I can tell, the defendant, well, it's an Illinois license, so I won't have an Illinois driving record. She has...
I have nothing on my record. It's my first.
I'm sorry?
It's my first ticket. I have nothing, zero.
Okay,
4 years.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
She was traveling 45 miles per hour in a 25
I
zone.
think it was less.
Pardon?
I believe it was less than that.
Well, do you want to enter a plea of not guilty and see if you can talk to the prosecutor about getting this straightened out, or did you want to go ahead with a no contest plea tonight? If you plead no contest, I will find you guilty.
I understand. Yeah, no contest is good.
I'm sorry?
No contest is good.
Okay. I have reviewed the reports. I have found a factual basis for your plea. I will find you guilty and impose a forfeiture of $149.20 inclusive of costs. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Just wait for a copy of the judgment and then you can go.
Thank you.
Grace Kirby. Ms. Kirby, do you still live on Washington Street in Stoughton?
Yes, I do.
And your last name is spelled Kirby?
Yes.
Ms. Kirby, you're charged with speeding by 16 miles per hour over the posted limit, specifically going 51 in a 35 zone. Do you understand the nature of the charge against you?
Yes, I do.
I'm reviewing the police reports, and it appears that you still have a probationary license.
I thought that was lifted when you were 18.
Depends on when the license was issued.
Oh, okay. I was unaware of that.
You should know that this is a 4-point license, and it doesn't appear as though you have any other violations on your record. Mr. Brodke, what's the city's position? The bond deposit amount is $124.
Your Honor, I think the city stands by the bond deposit amount. 124 seems reasonable in the circumstance.
All right. Then that's what I will order. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that?
No, I do not. Can I pay that today here?
Pardon?
No, I do not need more time. Can I pay that today here?
Yes, did she enter a plea? I didn't.
Did you enter a plea?
Oh, I don't think you asked me, but
I'm
I
sorry.
plead guilty, yes.
Guilty. I will find you guilty. Sorry. Thank
No,
you.
that's okay. I didn't realize.
And can she pay
Yes,
downstairs?
downstairs.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you can pay tonight, and we'll give you a copy of the judgment.
Sounds good.
Take that with you. Tyrell Collins.
I think we skipped Scott.
I had 2 16s.
Oh, that's anyway, some people are coming there.
Oh, yep, I see that. Okay. We'll do him next. Mr. Collins, do you still live on South 4th Street in Stoughton?
Yes, sir.
Last name is spelled Collins.
Yes, sir.
You are charged with failure to stop at a stop sign. Do you understand the nature of the charge?
Yes, sir.
And you should know before you enter a plea that, given the nature of this charge, if you are convicted, the Division of Motor Vehicles will send notice to you advising you that you are required to go to a traffic safety school and that you'll have to complete that within 6 months of that notice. Otherwise, your license can be suspended for up to 5 years.
Okay.
So how do you wish to plead?
Not guilty.
Okay? We will give you a chance to talk to the city attorney in a pretrial conference. And we'll give you notice of that before you go, okay?
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Jason Scott? Mr. Scott, do you still live at Molass Circle in Stoughton?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You're charged with speeding by 16 miles per hour over the posted limit, specifically going 41 in a 25 zone. Do you understand the nature of the charge?
I do.
And how do you wish to plead?
No contest.
All right, I have reviewed the reports. I do find a factual basis. Mr. Brodkey, I see that there was a speeding by 10 over in March of 21. And in 2019, failure to provide proof of insurance. The bond amount is $124. What's the city's position?
Your Honor, the bond amount of $124 sounds right to us.
All right, that's what I'll impose then. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that?
I do not.
Do not?
I do not.
Okay, great. We'll give you a copy of the judgment, and then you can be on your way. Alfonso Walker. Mr. Walker, is your name spelled A-L-F-O-N-S-O, last name Walker, W-A-L-K-E-R?
Correct.
And you still live on West Main Street here in Stoughton?
Correct.
You are charged with operating a motor vehicle with a prohibited blood alcohol concentration, specifically a blood alcohol concentration of 0.24. You are also charged with operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of an intoxicant and operating while suspended. Do you understand the nature of those charges?
Yes.
How do you wish to plead?
No contest, even though I know it's guilty. Based off what you said earlier.
Meaning what? I want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
No, I just have a lot going on in my head. I mean, I'm a directional driller, so it kind of affects my job. So, I'll just go guilty because I know there's a breathalyzer. So, we'll just say guilty. We'll just take back the no contest.
Well, I'm reviewing the reports for a factual basis here.
I would just like to do no contest, but I know, as you stated earlier, it's going to be guilty regardless. I'm just thinking of my job and stuff like that.
So do you understand that if you plead no contest, I will find you guilty?
That's what I was stating.
Okay. Mr. Brodkey, what's the city's position? As I said, the breath test result was 0.24. The bond amount on the OWI charge is $961. On the operating while suspended, it's $124. What's the city's position?
Your Honor, if I heard you correctly, the PAC is .24. That would require the interlock ignition device.
Right.
And it's also my understanding is that you can only be found guilty of either the PAC or the OWI.
Correct.
In this circumstance, because of how high the PAC is, or the BAC rather, the city would certainly want the IID requirement. When it comes to the OWS, the operating while suspended, I'm curious whether the defendant has, which I assume is automatically suspended anyway, or administratively suspended.
There is, right, but he was suspended prior to that based on quite a few violations from last year.
Those were basically unpaid tickets for, I can't remember, but it was only suspended because I didn't pay, like, going through the tolls or something like that. That's what I was told by the DMV. But I know it was suspended at the time while I got the OWI and stuff. So, like I said, I'm not here to fight anything. I'm not here to whatever. But I do have one question. So I do have a motorcycle's license. And the kid earlier, there was like a difference between driving a car and riding a motorcycle. So is there a way for me to like use a motorcycle?
No.
Okay. They answered my question. Thank you.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, I guess returning to the city's position.
Sure.
I think that the citations as issued work for the city.
Okay. Then I'm going to impose on the operating while intoxicated citation a forfeiture and costs totaling $961. On the operating after suspension, it'll be $124. Mr. Walker, I should also ask you, before I impose judgment completely, do you have any other operating while intoxicated matters pending anywhere else?
No, this is my first ever OWI, DUI, anything related to anything in regards to drinking or anything under the influence. This is my first time in my 27 years.
Okay, well, you got a whopper. .24 is pretty darn high.
Yeah, I was drinking pretty heavy the night before, and
Okay.
it carried on the next day.
Well, I'll impose those forfeitures, but then in addition, I will order your license to be suspended, revoked for nine months.
From this day? Or
Yes.
from the day of? From this day, okay.
No, you'll get credit from, basically, you get credit from the date of the administrative suspension.
Mm.
You are eligible to apply for an occupational license because this is a first offense, but that's something you have to take care of with DMV.
Okay, so,
And I will order an ignition interlock device to be installed on any vehicle titled in your name at your expense.
okay.
Anything
Have to
else?
add a $50 fine fee for that.
Right, and there's a $50 fee for the installation of the ignition interlock device, and depending on where you get that done, there are going to be other fees associated with keeping it attached to your vehicle.
All right.
Understand?
And that's only if I decide to, get that within the 9 months. So if I don't decide to drive within the 9 months, I don't have to do that?
No, regardless.
Regardless, say I don't have a vehicle title in my name, then why would I pay a fee for something that I don't own?
If you have a vehicle titled in your name, it must be equipped with an ignition interlock device at your expense.
Okay, but I was just asking, like, say I don't have a vehicle title in my name, then therefore I don't have to do that, correct? That's all I was asking, sir.
We charge the
$50
$50 regardless.
is a county fee.
Yeah.
But you were saying if I had a car titled in my name, so if I don't have a car in my name, then therefore why would I pay for an interlock when I don't have a car titled in my
Because the
name?
law requires it. And the $50 fee is imposed by the county.
Yeah, the $50 is no problem. I was just saying, like, if I don't have a vehicle title in my name, then why would I pay for interlock in a car that I don't have?
Then you wouldn't have to.
That's what and there you go, you answered the question. That's all I was asking.
Whenever he does get a car, he will have to have it, no matter if it's
Right.
12 years from now.
So
If
the 9
at-
months?
Hang on.
That's crazy.
If at any point in the future you do get a car titled in your name, you will have to equip it with an ignition interlock device. You will have to pay for it, and that'll be for a period of 9 months, plus
That-
whatever.
12 months.
I'm sorry, 12 months, excuse me.
That's crazy. So say I don't get a car for 2 years from now, titled in my name, I still have to do it 2 years from now?
Yes.
That's crazy. All right, whatever. So that's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's just crazy to me. I thought it was like, okay, 9 months, but then it's like I could get a car 13 years down the road and I still have to do it.
Yep.
But that's crazy. It's all about money. So all right, let's just get this over with. How much do I have to pay? How long do I have to pay it?
Okay. In case they didn't do it already, I'll find you guilty on the OWI and the operating after suspension. We've already talked about the money penalties you're going to have to pay, the 9-month suspension or revocation, and we will give you copies of the judgments for those.
Yeah.
And then you can go.
Yes.
Are you going to
Okay.
need?
To take an assessment.
Oh,
and
yeah,
have that
thank you.
form. You need to sign it, and he needs to sign both copies.
Right, and then you also will have to undergo an alcohol and other drug assessment.
For a first offense?
Yes.
Dang, I wonder what it's like for people who got like 3. Oh my God. Dang, that's crazy.
How long does he need to pay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to pay that.
You're gonna need, okay.
It's not gonna be 30 days.
How much can you pay each month?
I don't know. Probably like, okay, so the total, you said 900 something, so probably, we'll just round it up to like 1,100 or so.
Roughly.
Yeah, so,
I'm gonna order you to pay $100 a month,
that works perfect.
starting
Appreciate
the 1st,
It would be July 1st,
starting July 1st.
and I'll send him the paperwork.
Kind of not working.
Thank you.
Oh, I know how that is.
And the bottom one as well? Okay, gotcha.
All right, so Mr. Walker, just so we're clear, I'm ordering you to pay these forfeitures off at the rate of $100 a month, beginning July 1st. You can pay more than 100 if you want, but you have to pay at least 100. If you don't pay these off, your license gets suspended again,
Okay,
okay?
yeah.
And
I can make-
$100 is something you can manage.
Yeah, I mean, I can pay 100 today, tomorrow, and, I'll get it, down, for sure.
Okay?
I appreciate it.
Generally, what we do with the OWI with PAC.
Oh, yeah,
We
and-
tell him that we find him guilty, but there will be no penalty.
Yeah, and just so the record is clear, I'll find you guilty on the operating with a prohibited breath alcohol concentration, but by operation of law, I will not impose any penalty for that.
Okay, I appreciate it. I mean, I know what I did wrong, so I'm not mad
Okay,
at anyone
well-
but myself.
Don't do it again. I mean,
Nah,
you're
nah.
lucky nobody got hurt.
No, I mean, yeah, no. I appreciate it, and I know what I did wrong, and I'm just trying to get everything squared away. I know it was
Okay.
my fault, so
Well, as soon as you got all your paperwork here, you can go.
most definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Couple minutes.
Does he get one of these?
Right, he does get one
Yeah.
of those, and I get the other one.
Okay.
I have a whole pile of stuff for him. If you want to tell him he needs to call within 72
Oh,
hours
yeah.
to schedule that.
Right. One last thing. That OWI assessment that I ordered, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to call to make an appointment to set that up within 72 hours of right now.
For an assessment, as in, I have to go somewhere to.
Yep. And there's a $300 fee for it. See, that's the thing about drunk driving. It's not only dangerous, it's really expensive. And this is the only state in the country where you don't go to jail on a first offense.
But I wasn't giving in the moment.
Well, I'm just,
But I'm not giving myself an excuse. I fell asleep. I went to sleep. I thought it would wear off, and it didn't. And I made the mistake. It's on me. So I totally understand.
okay.
So $300. All right. And that's it. I don't have to sign anything else.
No, you've signed everything you need to sign.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
There's two that checked in late. The first one is Kruger, K-R-U.
K-R.
Called up.
John Kruger.
Good evening.
Evening.
Is this
Am I
true?
pronouncing your name correctly? It's Kruger?
I accept both pronunciations.
Well, which one do you use?
Kruger.
Okay, thanks. That's what I'm going to
I really do use both, though. It's always a weird.
And that's Krueger?
Yeah,
And you still live on Morris Street in Stoughton?
I do.
And you were cited for non-registration of a motor vehicle, meaning that it had expired tags.
Yep,
Have you taken care of that?
yep.
Fantastic. Why don't you show that to Mr. Brodke?
Oops. There's that.
The receipt because the stickers are coming in the mail.
Yep,
That's what that is.
Sure.
Your Honor, just as a point of clarity, before me is a registration for a motor vehicle, plate number ASM 8192. And given that I don't have the citation, I just ask that that checks out on your end.
It does.
Sorry
That's
about
the
coffee
vehicle
stain.
that was being driven at the time of the offense.
Your Honor, based off of what's been presented to me, the city moves to dismiss the citation.
All right, that's what I'll order.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything I need to do on my way out?
Nope.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
yeah, get a copy of the judgment for your records.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Wonderful.
Sir, what's your name? Vaghi?
B-A-A.
All right, give me a second here, Mr. Vaghi. Mr. Vaghi, your last name is spelled V-A-A-G-E,
Yes, sir.
Austin, A-U-S-T-I-N,
Yes, sir.
and you still live on South Street in Stoughton?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You were cited for operating motor vehicle in excess of the posted limits, specifically going 43 miles per hour in a 25 mile per hour zone. Do you understand the nature of the charge against you?
Yes, I do. And before I plead, can I just make a note? I got ripped off that day at some work I did for a guy, and I left my $500 Milwaukee tools, and the guy wasn't answering.
Hang on. We're not going to talk about the specifics of the case at this point.
I was in a panic.
How do you want to plead? guilty, no contest, or not guilty?
I know what I did was wrong, so I'll plead guilty, but I just want to.
Well, okay, hang on. If you want to try to work something out with the city attorney, that's fine. We're not going to do it tonight, though. If that's what you want to do, I can enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, and we'll give you a pretrial conference date and time so you can talk to Mr. Brodkey. He'll listen to what you have to say. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but
I know what I did was wrong.
This isn't really the time to discuss the case. This is just to enter a plea. So if you want to try to work something out with him, you'll get as much time as you need to talk to him about it. If you get it resolved, you won't have to come back here again. If you still don't have it resolved, then we can set the matter on for a trial, okay?
Okay, sorry. So you say if I want to talk to him further on, plead not guilty?
Yep.
No, not guilty, sir.
Okay, sounds good. And just hang on and we'll give you the information about the pretrial conference. And that'll be by phone. You don't have to travel anywhere.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so be sure that you make that phone call at the time that we've got set up for you, because if you don't do that, then we will assume that you don't wish to contest the matter, and I'll probably find you guilty, and I'll impose a forfeiture.
Yes, sir.
Be sure you make that phone call.
What is the 5th? Just so I can mentally prepare. What is, what day of the week is the 5th?
That'll be a Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay.
Wednesday, June 5.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
great
evening.
night. Appreciate you.
All other matters that have not yet been called, I will find the defendants guilty by default, and by way of sentence, I will impose the bond amounts that are listed on the citations. Where that hasn't already been paid, there are several that were paid.
Yeah, that's why we used to go through them individually, because now Downing, if you want to make a record, that's the one that you approved dismissing, because we saw the Downing, James Downing.
I didn't see that one.
I sent you an email.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, there are two citations for James Downing.
Well, one, the insurance is the one that has been dismissed.
Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, there was operating a motor vehicle without proof of insurance. That's been provided, so I'm dismissing that. He also has a non-registration. I'll impose judgment on that. Find him guilty and impose forfeiture and costs totaling whatever is on the face sheet of the citation. And we're good, right?
Sorry, I turned off my mic. Are there any other hearings tonight, administratively or otherwise?
No, this is it.
Well,
Oh, is there?
there's one, it's not necessarily a hearing, he wasn't ordered to appear. It was a city attorney agreement that, maybe not an agreement, he had a, what is it, possession of THC violation. And
Okay.
if he took an AODA assessment, the judge said he would reduce the fine from $439 to $124.
And do we have proof of that somewhere? Okay.
He did receive proof, and he has actually paid the $124.
Okay,
So it's-
Benjamin Yan, do you have that in front of you?
No,
It wasn't it was a agreement that worked out from the initial appearance. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Not
okay.
speaking
It
well
just
today.
jumped me.
I know, I tried to blame you for everything.
All right, then on that one, I'll impose forfeiture of $124 inclusive of costs.
And he paid that.
And he paid it? Okay,
Yes.
great. Anything else?
That's it.
All right.
That was easy.
So, what do you think?
Are you
Yeah,
gonna,
we're off
are
the
you
record.
gonna hammer it out?
Say that because
Oh, we're adjourned.
they won't shut the TV cameras off until you say.
Okay.
so.